Crystal McCoy, and in today's video, we are doing my first hour-long ASMR Paint With Me video. In today's video, we are working on this San Isidro piece. This is a commission for my cousin Joaquin. It is gonna be in the traditional Retablo style. So if you'd like to join me in today's video, if you could like the video, if you could subscribe, but only if you want to. I'm not gonna force anyone. So yeah, let's get into this painting. So I started off with this sketch here on the paper, and then I used my projector to transfer it onto this canvas. It's a 6x8 canvas. I am using these graphic markers from Hobby Lobby to start the line work. I am gonna be doing this line work, but the first step was to get the sketch perfect. So I'm using my first sketch as kind of like something to follow, like a reference, and I'm gonna make sure I get everything right. I like to sketch separately, and then I like to transfer it over to the canvas that I'm gonna use. That way I don't get the line work messed up, because when I'm painting or drawing, especially when I'm drawing, I tend to smear the pencil marks. So I just want to make sure I get the closest I can to the final line work whenever I transfer it. So I'm gonna be using like the projector technique. Maybe I could film it in another video how I use the projector to like transfer over to my canvas. If you are interested in that, let me know. In this video, I would like to do a little bit of like history of this Saint San Isidro as well. That'll be a little bit towards the end of the video, so you guys can know the history of him and this kind of like traditional New Mexican art. I am from New Mexico, so this is like some of my first taste of like art and doing art, and it's really like inspired me over the years to keep painting. My dad was a santero, and he would carve santos. Well, he still does sometimes, but he carves santos out of wood, and he uses a rabbit skin glue as a gesso. He paints the santos after, and what a santo is a saint. So in the Catholic religion, like the saints, there's different saints that they believe in. So that's where the santero comes into place. I am starting off with his hair and his beard. So I gave him curly hair like me. A lot of santeros use like traces of them, like when they recreate the pieces. So I'm giving him some of my curly hair. My hair's very, very curly, and if I don't put product or do anything with it, it's like really poofy. It's beautiful, my curly hair, but yeah, sometimes it's poofy. So I am gonna give him a beard and a mustache, and give him just some really curly hair like me. Yeah, these micron pens are not I don't know why I keep calling them micron. They are Master's Touch graphic fine liner pens. If you watched one of my other ASMR videos, I believe it was the Lisa Frank one. That's when I used these pens. I'm gonna be getting some water, drinking some water. Gotta stay hydrated, guys. Nothing like some good water, guys. Yeah, so I am giving him curly hair. I wasn't sure what color of outfit or how I was gonna do his outfit. I used a few different references. I'll post them up so you guys could see. There was like 3 different ones that I used, and I kind of combined them, like the best quality definition of what a retablo is. So, a retablo is a devotional artwork, typically a small folk painting or an ornamental structure depicting Christian saints and religious scenes. It derives from the Latin retro tabula, behind the altar. The term encompasses several distinct, beautiful forms across different cultures. So this is a little bit of the key variations and meanings. The first one is devotional paintings. In Mexico and the American Southwest. Like I said, I'm from New Mexico, so the American Southwest. A retablo is usually a small, colorful folk painting on a metal sheet or pine board depicting a patron saint. I am using a canvas, so I'm not doing it exactly the traditional way, but like I said, my daddy used to carve them, or he does, he carves them out of wood, or they do a lot of like metal sheets too. That's like more traditional way, but this is just my way of doing it. I'm not a professional retablo painter. I do know they make their own paints as well, and I'm using my pre-made paint, so like I said, I'm not doing it really in the traditional way, but this is how I'm gonna do it. Let me get back into the meaning. So, they are often placed on home altars as votives. Offering to give thanks for miracles or to ask for protection. So my interpretation of this one is San Isidro. He is like a farmer saint, and we've been in a really bad drought here in New Mexico, and we've been praying for rain because it's been pretty bad. So I believe this saint, they're gonna be using him to ask for rain or something like that. Like I said, that's only what I know. Yeah, we really need rain in New Mexico. It's been really dry lately. Our river, it's completely dried up right now, which is very sad. We are in the desert, but still, the Rio Grande is the main water. And yeah, it's been really dry. So in the back of the painting, I want to make it look like it's raining, like depict rain, like raindrops. Okay, so then there's another meaning. There's the Peruvian box altars, also known as retablo, ayacuchano. I might be messing up the pronunciation. I know a little bit of Spanish. I am Hispanic, but I never really learned too well Spanish, so I'm sorry if my pronunciations aren't the best. The Peruvian retablo is a portable, brightly painted wooden box with hinged doors. The interior is meticulously decorated with stacked shelves or detailed figurines that tell stories of saints, village life, and historical events. Church altarpieces, broadly in Spanish and Latin American architecture, a retablo refers to a large, highly ornate wooden structure, screen, or painting situated directly behind a church altar. So that's like a little bit of history behind like a retablo. And like I said, in New Mexico, they are very vivid colors and very simple characters. That's how you know it's like traditional New Mexican retablo. I'm gonna post a few more pictures around here of like retablos, and then are like saints, and I'm gonna post some of my dad's work as well, so you can see what that looks like. So here are a few examples of the New Mexico style retablos. You could see they're very simple, but they use bright colors. I'm not sure who the artists are, Um, but if you find this video and you see your work, feel free to comment so everyone can see your retablos and your artwork. Yeah, so those are just like a few samples. I'm gonna be posting some of my dad's now. So as you could see, he carves them out of wood. Like I said, he's a santero, and then he paints them and depicts different santos and saints, like Saint Mary and like Santo Nino. Those are a few of like his favorite saints that he paints or carves. So yeah, that's just like a little bit of history about retablos. I'm gonna go over some history of santeros specifically, and then New Mexico style. So, in the southwestern US and Latin America, a traditional artisan who carves or paints religious statues and altarpieces known as santos. The saint maker artisan in regions with deep Spanish colonial roots such as New Mexico, Colorado, and Latin America. A santero is a wood carver or painter who creates traditional religious folk art. These artists create hand-carved wooden statues of saints, putos, or painted wooden panels, retablos. Historically, these items were made to decorate remote village churches and home altars when importing art from Europe was impossible. So, in Spanish, a santero means saint maker, an artisan who carves or paints. It says, depending on the context and region, it can also refer to a priest in the Santeria religion, a caretaker of sanctuary, or someone who is excessively devoted to saints. So that's a little bit of like history from like the Santero, of like what it means. And like I said, I'm from New Mexico, so that's very like in my roots of like my family history and all that. They were all Catholic. They all believed in the Catholic religion. Now I am going to go into the history of San Isidro. This is the saint, of course, that I'm painting, as I mentioned earlier. So, Isidor the Laborer was born Isidro de Merlo y Quintana, also known as Isidore the Farmer. He was a Mozarabe farm worker who lived in medieval Madrid, known for his pity toward the poor and animals. He is venerated as a Catholic patron saint of farmers and of Madrid. El Gobernado, Jalisco, La Cipa, Honduras, and Tocoa, Honduras. His feast day is celebrated on May 15th. He died on May 15th, 1130, at age 59. He was venerated in the Catholic Church, Anglican Communion. He was canonized on March 12, 1622, in Rome by Gregory XV. So the feast days are May 15th, October 25th, and March 22nd. He's portrayed as a peasant holding a sickle and sheaf of corn, a sickle and staff as an angel plows for him, or with an angel and white oxen near him. In Spanish art, his emblems are spade or plow. Isidore was born in Madrid around 1070 or 1082 to poor devout parents, and was christened Isidore after the name of their patron, Saint Isidore of Seville. In 1083 or 1085, the troops of Alfonso VI of Leon and Castile conquered Madrid from the Muslims. Taifa of Toledo. Isidore spent his life as a hired hand in the service of wealthy Madrilena landowner Juan de Vargas on a farm in the city's vicinity. He shared what he had, even his meals, with the poor. Juan de Vargas will later make him bailiff of his entire estate of Lower Caramansa. Isidore married Maria Toribia, known as Santa Maria de la Cabeza in Spain. She has never been canonized. Isidore and Maria had one son. On one occasion, their son fell into a deep well, and at the prayers of his parents, the water of the well is said to have risen miraculously to the level of the ground, bringing the child with it. In thanksgiving, Isidore and Maria then vowed sexual abstinence and lived in separate houses. Their son later died in his youth. Isidore died on May 15th, 1130, at his birthplace close to Madrid, although the only official source places his death in the year 1172. In 2022, a team from the Complutense University undertook a forensic study of Isidore's remains. A coin with a lion was found in the throat. It was conjectured that it could date from the age of Henry IV of Castile. The only active illness found was dental abscesses. The researchers proposed them as cause of death. The age of death ranges between 48 and 102 years old, based on estimated birth and death. The height was estimated between 167 and 186 centimeters. The cranium shows a predominance of North African features. These are a few of the miracle stories. In the morning before going to work, Isidore would usually attend Mass at one of the churches in Madrid. One day his fellow farm workers complained to their master that Isidore was always late for work in the morning. Upon investigation, the master found Isidore at prayer while an angel was doing the plowing for him. On another occasion, his master saw an angel plowing on either side of him, so that Isidore's work was equal to that of 3 of his fellow field workers. Isidore is also said to have brought back to life his master's deceased daughter, and to have caused a fountain of fresh water to burst from the dry earth to quench his master's thirst. One snowy day, when going to the mill with wheat to be ground, he passed a flock of wood pigeons, scratching vainly for food on the hard surface of the frosty ground. Taking pity on the poor animals, he poured half of his sack of precious wheat upon the ground for the birds, despite the mocking of witnesses. When he reached the mill, however, the bag was full, and the wheat, when it was ground, used double the expected amount of flour. Isidore's wife, Maria, always kept a pot of stew on the fireplace in their humble home, as Isidore would often bring home anyone who was hungry. One day he brought home more hungry people than usual. After she served many of them, Maria told him that there simply was no more stew in the pot. He insisted that she check the pot again, and she was able to spoon out enough stew to feed them all. On April 2nd, 1212, after torrential rains had exhumed cadavers from cemeteries, in Madrid, his body was discovered in an apparent state of incorruptibility. He is said to have appeared to Alfonso VII of Castile and to have shown him the hidden path by which he surprised the Moors and gained the victory of Las Navas de Tolosa in 1212. When King Philip III of Spain was cured of a deadly disease after touching the relics of the saint, the king replaced the old reliquary with a costly silver one and instigated the process of his beatification. Throughout history, other members of the royal family would seek curative powers from the saint. The number of miracles attributed to him has been counted as 438. Wow. Alrighty guys, so I got the sketch done on this piece, and now I am working on the line work. Got that done. I'm using my my Master's Touch Fine Art Studio graphic illustration markers. That's what I used for like the outline. So I'm gonna let this dry a little bit, like the marks. That way when I go to erase, it won't smear the sketch. So I think most of it is dry up here. I'm gonna start erasing all this. And then once I'm done erasing the line work, then I can get working on the color. I just like to erase the pencil marks before I start the paint, because I don't like that to puddle my paint. Get too much of the pencil marks in my paint, so yeah, I'm gonna erase this. I'm gonna hold it up here just so I don't mess with the camera. I have it on my tripod right now. I don't want it to move the table or whatever. Moving on the table, so yeah, I just like to see, clean it up a bit. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but this will make it easier to color. That way I don't get all the pencil marks and the pink here. And I left it enough time to dry, the line work, so I'm not smearing the sketch. That's what I usually do when I work on my paintings. I like to erase all these line works. That's the only thing, but you have to wait for it to dry. I think this is the worst part for me for painting. I don't know why. I guess we all have what we like to do when we're painting, what we don't like, but this is the least thing I like to do. We have just our pier line work besides down here. I'm gonna do the filled part last, I think. I don't know, I just don't really want to work on that right now. But yeah, there we go. Got it mostly cleaned of all the pencil marks. That way when we get the paint on, it won't be so bad. But yeah, this is it so far. A close-up, let me show you. So let's start the coloring on this piece. I can't wait. This is my favorite part. These are the markers I'm using. This is my bag that I have all my acrylic markers in. So you have a bunch. But these are like my babies here. My Master's Touch, Posca. Like, these are the Master's Touch here. I like to use these. And then I have like my Posca paint markers as well. This bag has all of these in here. Just so many of them. Alright guys, so let's get started on the coloring part. Now, I have all these shirts on my desk. I have to like clean my desk a lot because I get all the pencil markings. So I'm going with this kind of color scheme on my painting. I really like the yellows and everything. Wanna do like a ring around him, like he has like a halo. Let me see. Gotta find some sort of circle. I'll do that part last. So I'm gonna get working on his hair. Use I want the colors to be like very, very pigmented on this piece. I don't want there to be I want the color to be very dark. So I have to get my markers. These ones you gotta shake up. This one's the black. Yeah, I'm gonna use that one for his hair. And I like to use this to make sure the colors, like the little paper, make sure the colors are like the full potential that they could be. So yeah, we're gonna work on his hair. He has like black hair. So beard and hair. Alright guys, so let's get back to some more of the history of San Isidro. So, let me go back to where I was. There was related 5 of his miracles. There was the pigeons and the grain, the angels plowing, the saving of his donkey through a prayer from a wolf attack, the account of his wife's pot of food, a similar account of his feeding the brotherhood. The codex also attests to the incorruptible state of his body, stating it was exhumed 40 years after his death. Now we're on to the veneration. Isidore was beatified in Rome on May 2nd, 1619 by Pope Paul V, and then canonized along with Saints Ignatius of Loyola, Francis Xavier, Teresa of Avila, and Philip Neri on March 12, 1622. The Bull of Beatification was published March 12, 1621 by Pope Gregory XV. The Bull of Canonization was published by Benedict XIII on June 4th, 1725. In 1696, his relics were moved to the Royal Alcazar of Madrid to intervene on behalf of the health of Charles II of Spain. While there, the king's locksmith pulled a tooth from the body and gave it to the monarch, who slept with it under his pillow until his death. This was not the first nor the last time his body was allegedly mutilated out of religious fervor. For example, it was reported one of the ladies in the court of Isabella Castile bit off one of his toes. Oh my god. In 1760, his body was brought to the royal palace of Madrid during the illness of Maria Amelia of Saxony. In 1769, Charles III, the Third of Spain, had the remains of Saint Isidro and his wife Maria relocated to the San Isidro Church, Madrid. The sepulchre had 9 locks, and only the King of Spain has the master key. The opening of sepulchre must be performed by the Archbishop of Madrid and authorized by the King himself. Wow. Consequently, it has not been opened since 2022. Feast day is celebrated on May 15th in the Catholic Church and in the Philippine Independent Church. Now I'm going to be going over his patronage. Saint Isidore is widely venerated as the patron saint of farmers, peasants, day laborers, and agriculture in general, as well as bricklayers. His hometown of Madrid, the Spanish cities of Leon, Zaragoza, and Seville, and various locales in the former Spanish Empire, honoring him as their patron saint. U.S. National Catholic Rural Life Conference claims him as its patron. San Isidro, California, and San Isidro, New Mexico were named after him. I am working on the mounds of dirt in the back. Like I said, New Mexico is like a cake. Like it has a lot of layers. I'm gonna put a picture up so I could show you. And it's pretty cool. It's like the earth cake. Yum cake. That sounds good. But yeah, so I'm doing these like little mounds, brown, and then the mountains and the fields will be a different color. Alright, so I'm gonna go over some of the iconography. Saint Isidore is often portrayed as a peasant holding a sickle and a sheaf of corn. He might also be shown with a sickle and staff, as an angel plows for him, or with an angel. So I'm gonna add an angel. You can see here I added an angel. And a white oxen near him. I didn't add the white oxen, I just added the angel on my piece. In Spanish art, his emblems are a spade or a plow. If you are not sure what a plow is, something similar to this, that would be like the type they'd use, like back in that time. So yeah, like I said, I didn't add him, but are the plow, but I am gonna add some birds in the sky. Like I said, I just wanted to make this really simple. I wanted to focus more on him. Now I am getting the mountains done. I wanted to try to make these look like the Manzano Mountains or the Sandia Mountains here in New Mexico. These are the Sandia Mountains here. They're just so beautiful. Look how pretty, guys. The mountains here are like unbeatable, like the views. They're like the best. And then this is the Manzano Mountains here. This is like a view from the top. I don't own the rights to these pictures, but those are the pictures there. Yeah, we have some really beautiful mountain ranges. Maybe in an ASMR video, I could take you guys on like a nature hike to one of the mountains or something. So I could show you how pretty the mountains ranges are here. Let me know in the comments if that's something you would like to see, like more of a nature inspired ASMR YouTube video. Yeah, just let me know in the comments, guys. That would be pretty cool. I am an outdoor cat myself. So let's go over the legacy of San Isidro. The story of Saint Isidore is a reminder of the dignity of work and that ordinary life can lead to holiness. Legends about angel helpers and mysterious oxen indicate that his work was not neglected and his duties did not go unfulfilled. Saint Isidore's life demonstrates that if you have your spiritual self in order, your earthly commitments will fall into order also. The house of his master, Juan de Vargas, in Madrid is now a museum, popularly known as Casa de San Isidro. I'm gonna look up a picture of it and show you guys. So this is it here. It's beautiful. Like I said, it's in Madrid. Not only does this museum contain a chapel built upon the place where Isidro lived and died, but also the well where his son fell and was saved. In popular culture, his life and miracles have inspired paintings, a poem by Lope de Vega, music, and a 1964 film. Isidore Labrador. By Raphael J. Sylvia. Javier Escriva played the role of the saint. Interesting. This is the movie Isidro el Labrador. This is the one that they were talking about in the description of him. I've never seen this movie, but I'd be interested in watching it. Just seems really interesting to me. Let me know if you guys have seen this movie in the comments. Feast day celebrations and festivals. The day of his liturgical feast, which though not included in the general Roman calendar, has been celebrated for centuries in several countries and dioceses, is May 15th. Many towns venerate San Isidore and his wife, Blessed Maria Turribia, with processions in which the fields are blessed. One of the most celebrated holidays of Madrid is held on May 15th, the liturgical feast of Isidro, who is the city's patron saint, as well as of farmers. The traditional festival is held in an open-air area known as the Pradera del Santo. In the afternoon, the images of San Isidro and his wife, Santa Maria de la Cabeza, are paraded throughout the streets from Calle de Sacramento to the Plaza de la Villa, passing through Calle de Cordon. The feast in honor of San Isidro is declared of national tourist interest in Andalusia and is one of the most important celebrations in the province of Malaga. The fiesta is very popular in Alameda because San Isidro is a co-patron of the town. Celebrations honoring both saints are also held elsewhere in Spain. For years, the Alicantine locality of Castilla has been celebrating the fair of San Isidro. Excuse my pronunciation again, guys. Where numerous companies display their products in a playful and festive atmosphere. A medieval swap meet and mechanical attractions are especially popular. The Romeria Festival in Almoquia surrounding farming communities, accompanied by traditional dressed ladies in flamingo dresses and caballeros on dancing horses, sing and dance from El Magoya to the Romerio ground, a few kilometers north of the village. And the festival includes music, traditional horse races, and a bar for horses, as well as their riders. Ah, that's nice. The horses need to party too. And much parading of costume and finery. The best dressed floats is awarded a prize. May 15th is San Isidro Day in Cuzcuz, about 5 kilometers from the city of Iapel, province in the Copico region of Chile. If the day falls on a Monday, the following Sunday is celebrated. Celebrations begin at noon with a mass, followed by a procession and Chilean dances. Nicaragua, San Isidro, Matagalpa. The town celebrates its patron saint from the 1st of May to the 15th of May. Peru, the residents of San Isidro de Caramba of Ayacucho and the city of Lima celebrate a San Isidro festival. The First Society of San Isidro de Caramba organizes the festival, along with the Butler and the Adornante festivals. In the evening, after the celebration of the Mass, a procession moves to the house of Adornante. On the next day, Central Day, another Mass is said, this time celebrated by the Butler. Another procession is held, followed by a festival. Philippines. Many festivals are held in honor of Saint Isidore on or around May 15th in the Philippines, which is mostly agricultural and predominantly Catholic. The Sikoy Festival, the Sea Festival of San Fernando, Cebu, is in honor of Saint Isidore the farmer. The name of the festival is a Cubano word, Sikoy, which is a fishing method using nets done during rough tides. The festival celebrates the rich and bountiful sea life of San Fernando, which are considered blessing of God's love to the town. It is celebrated every Sunday before the feast day, which is on May 15th. The festivity comes with Thanksgiving rituals and petition prayers for guidance, protection, and abundance in their farm and sea harvest. Corrales, New Mexico. In Corrales, New Mexico, the town celebrates the San Isidro feast day on May 15th. Matachines dance through the streets, and the fiesta is a big part of the celebration in the city. So that is a little history about San Isidro and how people from across the world celebrate and honor him. I hope you guys liked that. I had a lot of fun getting into the history of him, and it's very interesting to see how people around the world celebrate him. Alright guys, so this is where I'm at with the painting. I am gonna start working on more of these details and everything. So, get some water real fast. yeah, that looks good. I like that. Looks really good. It's funny when I'm painting, everything's like flippy floppy. Like I'm just like constantly moving the canvas around. Alright, and then for his shirt, I think I want to do, I have to look up, I'm not sure yet what I want to do with the color. I'm gonna add some more green to these mountains though. The mountain tops, gonna add some of that. And then, I don't know if I'm gonna keep this color green, the like lighter green on the bottom here. Because, I don't know, we'll see. I'm gonna keep it for now. And if I like it, like towards the end, I'll keep it. But if not, I'll change it. I just want to make the mountains kind of look like the mountains here. Or not, where I live, it's not flat. There's like mountains and it's like the desert and the mountains. It looks like a cake, like different layers. It's kind of cool. It's like the earth, like cake. Cake, I love cake. It's so good. Yeah, but that's what kind of reminds me of. Oh shoot, I don't want to go over that because I'll smear it. See, that's my problem too when I'm painting. Cause like, I like to trap my hand a lot of the times. I gotta be careful. Not get it all over the place. I really like green. If you didn't know, green's my favorite color. Like of all time, green's my favorite. You gotta make sure these snap on too when you're closing these lids. You gotta snap them on. Okay, so now I am gonna work on, I think the shoes. I'm just gonna do the shoes black. The boots, the cowboy like boots. I know what brown look better. I'm debating. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure yet. So I skipped a little bit more towards the end of the painting. I am almost finished with it. I am just getting back the line work, and I'm using those Master's Touch fine liner pens again to go over everything. Let me know if you liked this video, this style, like history and art ASMR video. I would really appreciate it. But if you fell asleep to this point, that's good too, so I'm happy. I'm just gonna get this line work done. This piece is actually going to Poland. I wasn't sure exactly. And my daddy asked for this commission towards the middle of the week for my cousin Joaquin. But yeah, it's going to Poland. So if you get this painting, whoever this is gifted for, I think my daddy showed me who it was for, but he's gonna write it in the back for me. But I hope you enjoy this piece, and I hope you enjoy this paint with me history video. So I'm putting some more of like the raindrops. You could see I added the fields. It was fun painting this piece, getting back to my roots a little bit. I also wanted to mention that my dad has work at the Regis University, Colorado Santo collection. If you guys want to check it out, if you could look that up, you could probably find it. He said there's also a great selection of other santeros and retablos and artisans. So yeah, if you found that interesting and would like to check out more of the saints and meanings and different like how people paint them, you could look